childcare and other mother issues, like mother injustice. But I'm here at this training in particular because I'm really, really intrigued around the work for political healers. I think I feel like I know a lot of your faces, but if you have never been to a political healers meetup or in any of our trainings, this is a space where we are centering feminine leadership and pulling more and more feminine leadership into both the political and just public arena in general. And so that's a place where we can heal and deal and do things our way. So I appreciate y'all for coming tonight. And without knowing too much about the training, but I'm excited about it, I know that this is something that we as women probably need. It feels like it. And so I just want to give people some space to just introduce themselves, tell us why you're here. And I'm thinking, even though I don't know if this is in the right space, I'll take that. We'll use this to communicate, feels like? Yes.
I'm going to throw somebody I got the plate.
Gets the plate! But I just want y'all to share a little bit about yourselves, who you are, what made you come here tonight. And I'm thinking about crucial conversations a little bit, and I'm thinking, are those conversations that we're trying to avoid, conversations that we didn't feel good about having? And so if you have any reflections or any reflective thoughts about maybe a conversation that you've had recently or that you feel like you might need to have that you don't feel great about, maybe share a little bit about that. Can I ask who wants to hand? Can I ask you? All right.
You want me to stand up? Or?
Yeah. Stand up and leadership girl.
My name is Beth Ayers. This would be my first time coming to one of these. I got the invitation through email. I volunteered for Marion 2020. And so I just wanted to come in and check you guys out and see what was going on. I think this is an important conversation. We do need healing in the political arena. So.
Yeah. Pass it on.
I think it's all right. If I can eat it again. Hello, everybody. My name is Rokeisha O'Neal. I am just tired. And when I mean tired, just earlier I was telling Elder Leslie that I was grieving and how she just have that listening ear, let me know I'm in the right area. So I believe in divine order, and I'm glad I'm here. So y'all want me to tell y'all a little bit more about myself? But I can go on and on. But I can pass it on.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jill Moore, and I'm here first and foremost because of one of my favorite friends and a good friend of mine, Albert Leslie. She has been a source for me for the past 20 years of my life and always helped me in finding a voice within myself. So I appreciate that. So I have been to a couple of political healer meetings and have enjoyed that. And so I'm just trying to keep myself on board with staying involved. But mostly I want to find my voice in the political arena for our country. And I realize that about myself. What's next?
My name is DeWanda Ashford. This is my first time coming. I'm really glad that I found space in my schedule because I wanted to be a part of political healers and critical conversations. I think there's just a time in my life where I want to be more of a voice and an advocate for things that are going on in social justice that I see in my state and around the country. And so I'm really glad to be here.
Hi, y'all. My name is Fatima Flavy. I am a organizer, women politics organizer over at Michigan United, and also I run communications and campaigns for ABISA, the African Bureau for Immigration and Social Affairs, near Sadie. This is my first time here, and that's also because of the incredible Elder Leslie. Yeah, so she's like, you know, I just recently met her, and I just heard a lot, like, Elder, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait till she comes back to the office. Because I'm like, I finally get to meet her, and then one of our first conversations, she brought this up, and I was like, yeah, this is something I need, for sure. So I'm really happy to be here, happy to see some of my friends, Mother Justice. Love you guys, and looking forward to meeting the rest of y'all. Did everyone go?
Hi, everyone. My name is Terry Campbell. I'm connected through Elder Leslie as well. My day job, I work for U.S. Senator Debbie Stabenow. I'm her regional and I've been at the Mother and Justice.
That's right.
So I have crucial conversations every day. And I also believe that we all can learn something from each other, and we can learn better ways to communicate. And I think that when you're in a community of like-minded people and you're thinking about how to take the game forward, I think it does ignite something in you. And so when I saw this, I thought I want to be here tonight because I can learn more, right? And so that's what I'm here to learn more. All right, happy Thursday. I'm Anita.
Just, you got 2 more. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I'm excited to be here today. I really feel the energy with Political Healers. Have an amazing agenda that I really want to be a part of. And so I'm excited to learn a little bit more from everyone today. You want me to throw it on? Okay, don't worry.
My name is Aini. How I heard about this event is because of Fatima is my roommate, and I know Elder Leslie, so I was like, I have to come through. So, and reasons why I'm here is I always wanted to be like involved in community, but I just didn't know how to go about it. So for me to go to the different types of events, to Terry said, learning is always something that you want, especially like you never stop learning. Especially even if you make it to the peak of your career or whatever, it's always good to have other sources and other things to learn from because the world always changes. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here, to hear about this interesting event, and I'm here to learn and kind of take that to wherever I'm going to go later. Here you go, ma'am.
My name is Sonia Green. It's wonderful to hear those wonderful things about Elder Leslie. I see she threatens everybody, huh? Well, I always talk about politics. I kind of got forced into this arena, and I love it. And I'm always talking about it because I work for the federal government. I have to be very careful on how, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I have to be very wise in the wording that I use to speak to those that I work with who only see views one way, and I need them to see I need them to look out the window and not just at the house across the street, but the entire neighborhood, to realize that they're not the only ones that's on this block. And so I joined this because I feel I think I know a lot, but I really don't know that much. I feel like my bottom of my foot is just getting wet, and the more I dive into politics, the more I hate it, but yet I love it at the same time. So this is a great opportunity to rock with you all, and my thing is I want to leave a footprint out. I want to leave a footprint that said I made a difference, not just in my life. We're not here just for us. We're here to make a difference in the world, and that's the only reason to be born.
Thank you all for sharing.
We're just like a couple minutes behind, that's 2, so I'm gonna make it quick. So for those that don't know me, I am Elder Leslie.
Wow, what's your name, ma'am?
Man, it's such a pleasure to be with you tonight. I am an organizer with Michigan United. I also work on some national projects with People's Action. One of the projects was gender justice, right? And so as we began to look at gender justice, how women play a part in politics, how women play a part in organizing, we realized that women really weren't at the top of that chain. And it was a reason for that, right? Especially because the dominant gender feels that our voice is not strong enough, nor is it loud enough. And they did not allow us the opportunities to go into spaces and places where we really could have actually made a difference. So when I thought about Political Healers, one of the things I would say that really kind of inspired me was the Women's March. I felt like that was like a corresponding reaction to an election that was like really unpleasing to a whole lot of people. And when I saw all of those women descend on Washington, D.C., it just did something for me. It really did. It really did something for me. And it was like women from all walks of life. It didn't matter. We are coming together because it's one cause, right? And the cause is we want to unify our voices and collectively say no to what had just happened in Washington. So when I began to do the work in Political Healers, my modality is really healing. It's about bringing healing to the community. So once I began to immerse myself in this work, what I realized is that it was like a ton of political healers that actually came before us, right? And when I think about a political healer, I think about a person like Harriet Tubman, right? Because she fought against the very system that had actually enslaved her. Then I read about a young lady by the name of Carlota and Lacunda, I believe. She was in, I want to say, in Cuba. And she led a revolt in Cuba. Then I went to a lecture and I heard about women who in the South were getting raped and actually brutalized by police officers. And nothing was being done by that. And like, they wouldn't go and report it because if they wouldn't report it, worse things could actually have happened to them. Most of the time we talk about lynching, we think about men being lynched, but there were women that were lynched too. There were women during slavery time who actually was lynched, and they actually had their babies cut out of their stomachs during slavery time. And so that particular movement, and I think I shared that with Sister Sonia, inspired a group of women to come together, even though it seemed like the men took that movement, and we know that movement as the Civil Rights Movement. Really, the Civil Rights Movement was about women and women being sexually abused, and said, you know what, we're not taking this no more, and we're getting ready to organize. But because they didn't look like what people thought of organizers should look like, they, put the men in front of them. And so that's kind of like a part of who we are, right? Because we know we got to get stuff done, so we put the men in front of us, right? But our time is now, and their time is up.
That's right.
Our time is now, their time is up. And one of my goals with Political Healers is to really equip the women of our communities to be able to stand up and to go out, and when they see something wrong in the public arena, be able to speak out in a very loud voice, and begin to actually protest that, actually lift up a system of defense against that, because a community is only as strong as their women. If the women are silent, the community goes like that. But the moment women begin to raise their voice and stand together and they begin to unify, then things actually begin to change. Because guess what? Women get stuff done.
Yes, we do.
Women get stuff done. Y'all, some of the bad sisters I know, y'all will get stuff done. I've never seen anybody take a kitchen table, turn it into a war room, and put strategy all on the kitchen table, cook, take care of kids all at the same time, and then change their neighborhood. And that's what you do. So with Political Healers, what we're doing is we're taking cultural trauma, we're bringing it into the public arena. That's exactly what we're doing. Like earlier today, we had this big conversation about auto insurance. And we all found around the table that we all need relief. There is no one in this room that does not need relief from auto insurance. So this could be the very group that goes and puts together a whole bunch of folk, organize them and say, we can maybe take this big monster down, this insurance industry. So in order to do any of that I've talked about, in order for Harriet Tubman to even be able to do the thing that she did, she had to start a conversation with somebody. When I began to do this work that I do, it started with a conversation with somebody. So sometimes we have learned not to talk to people. And people are happy when we don't talk to people, because when we don't talk to people, guess what we're not doing? We're not building power when we don't talk to people. So we're going to explore, this is our goal today. We're going to explore how having conversations can benefit you in your life. So this is not just about Michigan United, this is about you. And this is about the next step that you make in your career, the next conversation that you may have with a husband, a partner, a pastor, your boss, I don't care who it is, but you're going to be having some conversations. And you know, the way that we're going to help you to have these conversations is going to be put in such a way that you're going to get the results that you desire to get. How many people have ever been in a conversation that just went totally left? And when the conversation began, you were like, oh crap. And you was like, how do I get this thing to come back around to what I really wanted to have this conversation about? Is it anybody in this room that ever feels like you are not being heard? Right? Was anybody that's ever had to elevate their voice because they didn't feel like they were being heard? How about not listened to? Those are elements of a horrible conversation. You don't ever want to be in a conversation with people that don't listen to you and that are not, and don't hear you, right? You want to have a conversation and you want to come away with what you decide before you have that conversation that you want out of that conversation, right? So what does that look like? That means I'm going to have a conversation with my boss and I need more money, right? So you just don't walk into the boss's office and say, I need more money. No, that's not how you do that. I can pretty much guarantee you, you're not going to get it. But if you strategically plan that conversation, strategically know the way that you want to go in this conversation, right? You might walk out with some of what you want. Even with your husband. A lot of us will probably write a love letter or a Dear John letter. Because when we try to communicate, they just not listening. The ear, you know, I guess, what is it, the hearing aid, you know, the battery's not working, or they, you know, turned it off, you know what I'm saying. Even with the kids, right? There are conversations that we need to have with our kids when they're Lonnie's age, all the way up until they're past grown. And we want to have good results from those conversations. So that's what we're going to do here today. I don't want to take any more time, but there is on here, I think, some announcements, right? And I think the first announcement is a phone bank. And I think that the team will be running a phone bank on next Tuesday. So we need some volunteers from Political Healers to come out to the office on Weston next Tuesday and to do some phone banking. We're going to be phone banking around the presidential forum, getting people out to the presidential forum, okay? Now, the next thing on the list should be the presidential forum. I need all of you all, I need every political healer to sign up for the presidential forum, which is October the 20th. It's a Sunday. I'm so sorry. If I had anything to do with it, it would not have been Sunday, but I had nothing to do with it, so it is a Sunday. So all of those that are available, we need your help because I'm going to put together a piece that's going to be done on stage to kind of frame out, you know, why people are here in this room, you know, and what we expect from our next president. Okay? So is anybody available for that?
I can do Sunday, I'll just be getting back in town.
You can do Sunday, Jill, Anita. Okay, so that means we're gonna have to do some practices, and I'm gonna do some coaching on that. We'll do some writing.
Wait a minute,
on
we're
that.
doing acting?
We're gonna go up and we're gonna speak
Oh,
as political healers. Like
oh, I did not thought you needed somebody to be at the door.
Oh no, we're gonna go up and we're gonna represent. We're gonna have
They
a voice.
didn't sing last time, they were singing.
Oh,
I know those.
So what that means is if you have your purple sash, make sure, please, 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 please register for the presidential forum. Okay. Then
Is it somewhere you can register?
Michigan United will take you, MIunited.org will take you to the site to be able to register for the presidential forum, okay? November the 12th, there's going to be a domestic violence action. I'm not sure where that's going to be. That's why I have not been able to give you the information. So just keep that in mind. You'll get some correspondence from me. Do I usually do this much activity with political healers? I really don't, but there's a lot of stuff coming up. Next week, political healers, along with our movement politics department, will be having a pop, women pop. And what we will be doing there is we will be networking with other powerful women of all persuasions, all religions, no religions, you know, every kind of different hair color, every kind of different hairstyle and lipstick, right? But we're going to come together and it's going to be very deliberate and it's going to be about building power. That's exactly what we're going to be doing, right? So there's envelopes on the table, so if you would like to make a donation to political healers, please do so, because I'm trying to get all this out the way so when I bring Anita up, she can just go straight through, we'll put the chairs and stuff back, clean up, and be out of here. So please, don't let Elder Leslie have to do all of this, because I've had a 12-hour day already. So we're going to help and get us all out of here together, right? Okay, so, yes, ma'am.
We have been having a little problem on the east side, because I know somebody who also is a political leader also, but she don't have transportation.
I called her today.
You did?
I did. She called me back, I called her back, and she didn't call me back.
No, I was gonna say, even though this event is happening till we have some events so that we can walk outside.
Oh,
I would love to, I would find a location, see if I can find a
Okay.
location to host, but we need to go
Yeah.
that way.
yes, I thought this was a little far, but I chanced it. But yeah, we absolutely can, because this particular training is 10 hours.
Okay.
So we're doing 2 today, we're gonna do two in November, and then we're gonna finish up in February and March.
Okay.
Okay, is that great? Is that good? Any more questions? Envelopes on the table for any donation that you want to make. This is open, it is free, it is deliberate, simply because I love you. I want to see you become very, very powerful, powerful women, because when Elder Leslie is dead and gone, I want to see the work continue, right? And what I do for you, I expect you to do for other people. Don't keep it to yourself, right? It's about empowering other people, and that's where we got to get to. All right, Nita, on you.
All right. I don't know if I can follow that. I think
Yeah,
she was starting all 9 components of crucial conversations.
Did I bust you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm so sorry about
Yeah.
that.
But you know what? I learned some things from you, like I always do.
Oh, okay.
Give me a moment. I gotta get this going.
Anita, you my sister. My last name Green.
Yeah, I am. Are you from Louisiana?
I don't know where my father's side. My grandfather, I think they're from Arkansas, Georgia, somewhere. I don't know.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Darling.
All right. Well, happy Thursday. I'm Anita Green, and I'm really excited to be a part of Political Healers, sharing this knowledge that I've obtained as a certified Stephen Covey. Has anyone read the book? All right, this is a part of the Stephen Covey platform, Crucial Conversations, and this is probably, out of all the Stephen Covey platforms, this is the one that I really like the most, because as I learned this through Train the Trainer, I learned some skills on how to have my voice heard, right? As women, like Elder Leslie said, sometimes we are silent. But this particular platform has empowered me, not only in my professional life, but in my personal life and in my community. So we're going to actually unpack the very first module of this. This is called, announcement.
Dim the lights a little.
You can actually download this through Audible.
Okay.
With Audible, it's really cool because you can sign up for a free trial, no charge, for 30 days. So when you sign up for your free trial, you get 2 books, right? So in order for us to really, really get, what we need out of this series, you gotta download the book. So I'm gonna start with the first module, Module 2. I like Module 2. To me, it's probably the most important total of 9 that we will go through. Did everyone get the materials from the table?
Yes.
Excellent. So start with heart is really about understanding how we can realize where we go wrong in conversations. It's really about self-reflection, right? Or where you get stuck in conversations. So starting with heart, the quote says, the reason others get defensive with us is because we lack the right skills, but because we have the wrong motives, right? Change what you want, and you'll change how you act. And the reason that's so important,
That's good.
you have to keep your motives at the top of your agenda. I think Elder Leslie, when she said when you have a conversation and it's crucial, for example, asking your boss for a raise, you got to map that out. You really have to map out a conversation. But the most important piece of that is understanding what triggers that you may have in regards to stress. Because how the model works, if you're unskilled and just kind of new at this, you can either go to silence or violence. But the ultimate goal is to be in between, right? Because you're keeping your motives or what you want out of the conversation at the forefront and at the top of your agenda. So we're going to walk through this and unpack this. Please feel free to ask me questions. It's totally interactive. So I'm going to move on. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a look. I love this whole platform because it's very interactive. So we're going to show some video scenarios, we're going to have some dialogue, and then we're going to start to really unpack the skills. So you're going to take a look at this. You're going to watch as Melanie gives her employee tips and advice on using dialogue. And the question is she aware of her own communication style? So take a look, and then we're going to have some dialogue after this. Can't hear it. The waving over here.